So, hello everyone, this is OK here, and we're going to be covering the round 3 match between Jasugi99, possibly the highest rated Crazyhouse player at the moment. We can just check the lists. In fact, Katask and Jan Lee have both overtaken Jasugi in recent weeks, but oftentimes the top player in Crazyhouse on the Lichess site against the Lone Wolf. And yeah, it's 2 minutes past 8, so both players are online, so we're expecting the match to start any moment. So let's just take a look at the draw while the players are getting ready. So we've got Jasugi99 against the Lone Wolf. It's a round 3 match. Jasugi has seen off Simba in the last round. The Lone Wolf saw off Math Ace. And the winner of this match will in fact face Atamek, I believe from Poland, who beat GD Howard in a very tight match. Other interesting games, we just saw GSVC beat CIW earlier today, and if you want to watch that, you have to check out Clearcast Chess on Twitch and on YouTube. Little Plot getting against T-Cubes, we can look forward to. JK the Bullfrog against Bughouse Master, King Switcher against PKNM, Master Tan against Phantom Troop, Mugwort defeated De Blauersau 6-1 and he's through. Chicken Crossroad went through against Duchesse, and that was again a tight match, it was 5-all. And John Stuckey against Clearcast, Bugzilla against Advocat, The Finisher against Unjur Nakamura, Penguin GM 1 against Zodiac Blitzer. Anyway, lots and lots of matches. Variants only against Archer Deception, Schwanet against Legion Destroyer, which Schwanet won, and Zek against Dabby. Also, one result which hasn't been put in, but Bughouse Master did defeat JK the Bullfrog 6-4, but that hasn't been confirmed, so maybe someone needs to inform the tournament organizer. Okay, so we have in the spectator chat already Oppa Wazen, Variant Bunny, Pepsi in Gaming, and Katask, and myself, and are we off? Yeah, we're off. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me. I should try and check. Yes, you can hear me. Good. Anyone's welcome to join me in the house Discord. I'm hiding away in one of the voice channels because other stuff is happening. But if people want to join me, I can be found there. And we're ready to go. I'm going to watch from Jasugi's perspective. And ooh, we have a strong chat, strong spectator chat. And we're off. Okay, so the Lone Wolf goes for e4, so we're going to see what he's prepped. And Variant Bunny says, oh no, my farm target might lose rating. Not much rating. Playing someone so high rated. Okay, so e4, he's going for, develops the bishop first, then the knight, and goes for a scotch. Okay, so that's interesting because if you take this way, there could be a queen trade, and you have a knight in hand, so that's why yeah, it could potentially be dangerous. So the Lone Wolf, no doubt, is in opening theory here. It'll be very interesting how this goes, because the Lone Wolf clearly knows what he's doing as white. So no queen trade, but already, I mean, the e4 pawn is hanging, but already the black king is very weak. But black is up a piece, so up a piece for a pawn, another pawn hanging. Probably both sides have to, it's going to be, I mean, both sides clearly have to play accurately. But especially black to make sure that his king is safe. Okay, so the idea of this move h6 is basically undermining the dark squares, because a knight and pawn will undermine the light squares. So he takes. If he puts a pawn here, then there could be a second piece sack, would be quite a lot. But then there are not enough defenders. These two squares are weak. JSVC already saying white's won this. Okay, so the threat concretely is something like, okay, so he's defended this one, but I mean knight here you can't even go down because pawn here is mate. Okay, so he could come here and here. Or you have to step up. But you could even go knight here and take the queen and claim you could mate with the queen, but that's going to be risky because then there'll be, if you don't mate, there's a counter threat. So that's something you'd have to be very careful about. So if you did this, takes queen, bishop takes queen there. So he wants to keep. He doesn't want to give up a whole knight for this. Maybe the king could get away. I'm not sure it could. I mean, they would have queen takes rook coming. So it's a very difficult position for black. Simba saying, can't believe Wolf is playing 12-teen, should have been me there. Well, it was him, last round. Okay, so he thinks a long while and gives away a knight, but that seems like... And, okay, so also that knight is guarding here, so if he takes a knight, probably bishop takes. Very solid move from white, just kicking that knight. Ooh, okay. This is challenging. So if queen takes queen, what's his plan? It must be rook takes, otherwise queen here, queen takes rook would seem as if it's giving up too much material. So I can assume queen takes queen, rook takes queen. Now we have a pawn, knight, and a queen in hand. Queen here, check, king here, pawn here, check, king here. Promote to knight. Okay, well we might see this. Pawn here, check, promote to knight. King could still come up. Okay, okay, it goes straight up, okay. So already I erred in my assessment. And all the while you have to watch out that queen d1 is the counter threat. So, and that's a tough counter threat. I mean, there is just castles, and say, you know, with your pawn, bishop, queen, you haven't got anything. But there is pawn at e2 if you try and just castle. But at least that's a little bit slow, it's not mate in one. So again, he's trying to, I think, deflect this knight. Again, there's queen e2 mate threat, which white blocks. If he did successfully... And the problem is, though, Wolf has let himself get low on time. This position should be very good. For white, with the king sitting on e6. But you'd want to play it with lots of time on the clock to think about things. It's like, yeah, what do you do with this queen? It's a kind of a panic. Knight takes knight, bishop takes. Okay, so he gives up a second queen. So why is it black's got two queens? Can't do much with that, but he's got a knight now. Okay. Ooh, so if king takes pawn, this is an issue. But pawn here? Ooh. The knight here is now going to come. Knight here, queen here, and then pawn here promotes. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's enough. Let's see. Knight here, for sure. Knight here for sure. King takes. That's the first move. I think queen here is correct. Queen here, pawn here, promote. Oh, he's got two queens, so he's trying to do something very fancy. Okay, that is very nice. Yes, yes, that's very nice. If you go there, you'll get mated in one. So this is actually just mate, because he's got queen here, queen takes. That was just beautiful mate. So if I just show you that position on the board, the reason it's mate is that if you take that queen, you have queen at d2. Queen at d2. The king comes down. Knight takes pawn check. King goes to g1, and queen takes g2 is checkmate. So it's the queen and knight combining. So it was a very nice find. With that queen sack, using the fact he has two queens. Okay, so yeah, queen at d2, of course, was also working. Queen at d2, king here, and he had a second queen, so queen at e2 and then takes. So that was also a very easy mate. Queen d2, as Op was saying in the chat. Yep, black had two queens. And Saturos is saying humiliate the opponent. Okay, so again, this game, if we just backtrack a bit, I mean, I think the one lesson from that game, yeah, Lone Wolf can't let himself get so low on time. And again, he's sacking on f2 to try and get an attack, but he can't sort of think for a minute on move 7. I mean, he can, but then he really needs to know what he's doing. Variant Bunny says it's showboating. I think it was a nice mate. Yeah, and Pepsi and Gaming agrees. It's a nice way of delivering the checkmate. Maybe it was one move slower when you think about it. That's okay. Okay, so that was a very long thing. I mean, Lone Wolf he just used up half of his initial allotment of time by move 7. That's just, you can't afford to do that. I know I can't talk myself in this. But okay, so an idea in this position will be a move like, for black, a move like pawn at g4, threatening to take this pawn. So although I'd be tempted just to go rook f1 and slide away, it may be a good idea to reinforce the center with a move like pawn at f3. Okay, but Jasugi99 is going for a more active approach. So again, if pawn here, he just takes directly. Although queen takes with check, and then blocks. So, well, we're seeing the line. Yeah, I have the... Just see briefly. Okay, so instead of blocking on f3, which would be natural to stop this sort of thing, he blocks on f5, and it doesn't look right, to be honest, because the bishop is pinned, so it can't really do anything. There's always it gives a potential for a pin on e6. Okay, now I understand why he did this move. It's very good. It's very good. It's because he wants to maintain control over the g4 square. It's very interesting. Yeah, this is actually quite brilliant. I hadn't seen it at all, and maybe someone's seen in chat. Lazy says, what if knight at f5 instead of bishop f5 there? Oh, this does the same thing. It does even better because it's hitting the queen as well. And the knight is pinned anyway. So this is brilliant. So by putting on f5, he's maintaining coverage of this g4 square. So any knight drop on g4, it's covered. While if he then blocks on f3 in future, yeah, so he kept this diagonal open by not blocking on f3, that's the point. Lone Wolf has just gone and sacked his queen, so already it's a huge material advantage. e3 is the one weak square in Black's position, and and Black with the 3 knights does not need inviting. He jumps straight in. And although it's so, the idea is if king takes knight at g2, and maybe you get another knight somewhere else, maybe another knight on. So he's just trying to create something. Oh, yeah, he has also a free bishop if he wants it. He could maybe try and put some. He's only got one pawn in hand. Maybe he could put a pawn down, a knight on. A knight could come on f2, and in the meantime, Black actually is quite safe for now. So yeah, so this is actually. I wonder whether taking e3 was the only option, of if he could have sidestepped, just sidestepped to e2. Because it looks like taking on e3 might have been a small mistake, but it's too hard to judge. Okay, now this is a mate threat. Takes and knight g5, yeah, and even takes here, g6 is a mate threat. This is again a mate threat on d8, and you can't take it because. And this is a problem. You only got 20 seconds to try to figure this out. That's not fun. Rook takes bishop, queen takes rook. This is a problem. You need checks that can't be denied. Beautiful move, by the way, because any blocker here and you can take this bishop for free. So basically you have to run off. But if you run off, maybe your light squares are weak. Bishop here. Oh, of course he had a defender. He had a defender. But so by getting it with check, he's defended d8 with tempo. Okay, interesting. Okay, so Wolf is quite good under time pressure. It's just he shouldn't be letting himself get into this situation. Yeah, and this is going to be trouble. How? Let's see. Knight, 2 bishops, and a queen. Just one queen this time. Just the one. Maybe clear away one rook. Okay, he goes this way. Yeah. Clear away one rook. And then, how's this finish? Ooh, and 12 teams down to less than 10 seconds. So this is the advantage of having a little bit of time in the bank. Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, and 12 team doesn't see it either. Because whoa, queen here. This should be mate. Some queen here. Oh no, you don't let her block. You don't let him. This is terrible. You don't let her block. Oh, he's got 2 queens. Oh, okay. Oh yes, he's deflected that bishop and he comes in. Oh wow, so that was. I mean, that's really impressive. So both games have gone to Black. This is 1 game all. Wow, well played from the Lone Wolf there. Because his position didn't look that promising. I think, yeah, I think the what went wrong for 12 team is he went in for a mating attack, which he didn't. He couldn't find the mate, and he'd expended a lot of material, and then Lone Wolf did capitalize very well. Okay, so Jasugi, trying to avoid e4, e5 prep, goes for a French defense. Or is he going for a wolf defense with d6? We're going to wait and see. He's actually thinking. Okay, he goes for a French. So this is going to be a fight. I mean, if both players can win with Black, that's impressive. Okay, so he's the pressure on the e4 pawn with that move. And he plays the advanced French. So that's inviting. I know this is what people used to play in the olden days. I don't know if they still do. kind of an annoying pin on this knight, and sometimes the queen goes to d7 and then the knight comes out here. And like in the normal French defense in standard chess, it's all about, okay, you're giving white the center, and then you try and focus your forces on the base of the pawn chain, and at some point you play f6 and hit the front of the pawn chain. And in my experience playing this when in Crazyhouse, the real problem is weakness on the dark squares. So attacks on f6, h6 make this a very challenging opening. Now this is I'm very surprised by. Instead of going bishop g5, he's gone knight g5. And I'm surprised because it means he's not attacking the dark squares at all, he's attacking the light squares. And I'm not sure exactly what the purpose is, but we're going to find out. Okay, this is actually a defensive move, because by moving this knight away, he's actually undefended the d4 pawn. So this... Okay, so queen e7 is to stop any sacks on f7. He's obviously concerned about sacks on f7. Okay, this knight, okay, interesting. It's a defended piece, it's not hanging or anything. It's looking at f6, but g7 is defended. But so probably it looks like white wants to go takes, and pawn at f6, something like this. And that is quite annoying, to be honest. And quite hard to defend against. So I'm expecting f6. It's just like the only way to... You can't allow white to play on f6, so I'm very much expecting... I can't see any other move. Because otherwise, even if you defend with the rook, you'll just take and at f6. So I'm fairly surprised. So why is he doing this? Looks like he's hoping to... So he's cut off the king from castling, and it looks like he wants to take this knight at some point and drop, say, a bishop on e2. That's the idea. But surely white's attack is faster. f6 should have been played. But anyway, it's hard for me to judge. I mean, because if you just did bishop takes knight and bishop at e2, pawn takes queen, again, white's attack is faster. Hi there, Hercules, i.e. Marlon. Your internet is cutting out a lot, but you are with me in spirit. I'm hoping the stream is not at fault. I mean, if other people can let me know if the stream is okay, I upped the bandwidth just a tiny bit, because I know my streams are quite low in bandwidth quality, and I just upped it just by a tiny bit, fraction. Maybe there are problems. So let me know, guys, if there are problems, or if everything's okay. And I can't change mid-stream, unfortunately. So yeah, he plays this, takes, knight f6 check, king here. Okay, so I like this so far. Knight f6, yeah, this makes sense. But the problem is white is lacking diagonals, and Hummeress says black is much better here. And black in fact gets his at e2 move in. Yeah, if it looked really good visually, but it's like white is short of a bishop or something. If white had a bishop, oh look, there's a bishop. If white had a bishop, then it wouldn't be so bad. Except that king is going to get mated, isn't it? And by the way, Hummeress, hi again, because I recognise you from the Clearcast stream. I was just wondering, who are you on Lichess again? I'm sure you've told me before, but I just can't remember. So Marlon says, my bandwidth shut down his internet. Well, that would be impressive. Okay, so just to back up just a second, hang on. So he didn't go directly for the mate, he went for the knight. So basically that seems to be saying, I think a knight mates you. He took back the queen, so how does a knight mate? Let's enjoy. Block, and then here, that's why a knight might mate. And he's also threatening here, and white wants a knight for here to protect everything, maybe. 1 second, he has to play. this is coming. Queen here, bishop here, but I'm not seeing. Because knight here is also tempting, but king could run. Oh, that's surely. Why did he run that way? Because now he's given him knight takes g2 check. He could have gone here and then here. Oh, of course he can't go there and then there. Queen takes g2 is mate as the threat. Of course, queen takes g2 is the threat. Now that went too quickly for me to properly appreciate it. Where's the mate in that final position? I'm going to have to open that up. And just to see, yeah, there's a few other people streaming as well. So just to open up that final position, yeah, what else? Yeah. So of course he couldn't go here and then here because bishop here and queen takes g2 is checkmate. Okay, so he has to go here, and just to open up the, yeah, maybe I have got internet problems because this is not. It's a mate in 5. Yeah. King d2, knight at c4, king e1, then knight takes g2. King takes e2, knight f4. So that's what's similar to what happened in the final position. If the king just drops back, knight at f3 and a pawn mates. Okay, so it was a knight and pawn combination to finish in that final position. It just went so that, yeah, a pawn here and a knight here will mate any king. It's in this box, as it were. Yeah. Okay. And Hammerest says, it's the same name, but you joined too late for this competition. Okay, that's a shame. So this is actually the third Crazyhouse World Championship. So there was one in 2017, there was one in 2018. Okay, so again, very strong sacks on, I mean strong as in hard sacks, sacking a piece for a pawn, because the piece was trapped, so that's why he was kind of desperate. This pawn is looking sensitive if you can get an attack on the knight. But yeah, so yeah, okay. So it happened in 2017, and then it happened in 2018. In 2019, there was a Bullet Crazyhouse World Championship. And yeah, if you want to read about the 2018 tournament especially, I'm going to give the link to my blog, and then in the headers you can find stuff like an index of studies with lots of hundreds of puzzles you can practice on Lichess of Crazyhouse. There's also a Crazyhouse World Championship study with highlights from the 2018 World Championship, and lots of so lots of puzzles from the 2018 World Championship, and a few puzzles as well from 2019 as well. But 2018 was the year when that blog was really active. And Jan Lee won in 2017, and then in 2018 Oppa Wazen won. So Oppa Wazen is the current world champion. There was no minimum rating to get in. It was a knockout among those who were lower rated for the right to enter the main draw of 128. So completely open. And in fact, there's a 1600 who's managed to get to round 3, just because his opponents have all round 3 of the elimination, but just because his opponents have all withdrawn. And his name is Ashwini something. He fought an amazing knockout battle. So it's supposed to be best of 10, but it kept on going 5-all, 6-all, 7-all. So he fought an amazing battle to win like 11.5, 10.5 pre the 128, and then he got to the main draw, and he might have lost one of his games, but then his opponents in the elimination battles just kept withdrawing against him. So he's through to round 3 as the eliminations. 2378 is more than enough. Yes, so 2378 you'd have been, and it's an elimination match. So even if you lose, even for example, if Lone Wolf loses this match, you still get to play on in the elimination battles. So yeah, you can see that the Lone Wolf has got through to round 3 without losing. So 2378, you'd have had your first tough match in round 2, basically. So there have been quite a few 2300s knocked out in round 2. Not knocked out, but sent to the elimination battles in round 2. But yeah, you're plenty strong enough. Well, it wasn't sort of, it wasn't, there weren't invites sent round, it was more people in Crazyhouse. Well, yeah, actually, there were messages sent out, but it was more everyone. Yeah, I think you joined Lichess too late. It's more the point. Yeah. Okay, so strange position here because okay, so I mean, what catches my eye is the b7 c6 weakness. So I mean, for example, I'm just 2100 or something at this game, so you're much stronger than me. So just to back up just a few moves. So yeah, this is bad. So that would be a mate threat. Pawn here, knight here is checkmate. I'll just leave that position just in the viewer for a few moments. White had a pawn and knight in hand, so he just puts a pawn. So even though black can go bishop e7 to give his king luft on f8, pawn at f7, and knight g6 just mates. So we have another French defense. Okay, so yeah, I think the problem with that, there are a lot of holes basically in black's position generally. And so obviously it was a quick trick to finish, but you can see that although there's a lot of space in white's position, everything's very well defended, very good control of the centre. He had rook and queen on open files. Around his king he had a knight and bishop actually protecting quite well. Black had development problems, positional problems. It was even though the material just a few moves earlier was actually equal, it was a disaster positionally. Cool, so what was your name on Fix, Humoras? Because we have quite a few Fix players here. So like Fumitox used to play on Fixed, obviously Jan Lee, JK the Bullfrog, Firefly is Zixon on Lichess, ZYXON. Not sure. Then Zek is playing in this, and he's don't think he's played Crazyhouse for a long time, but he's been seeing off the low rated opponents with considerable ease. Oh, same name. Ah, so Zazen Mohax. Yeah, hi there, Mohax. So you recognise him? Okay, I'm new at this game because I only started playing chess again with Lichess like a couple of years ago. So I'm new compared to you guys. No, so 11 teen is all you need is luft, and Jasugi99 is 12 teen or cheesy bread. And Chicken Crossroad is also playing. Um, yeah, so no, 11 teen is all you need is luft. So another very good player, but he's not playing in this. He played in past CWCs, but not in this one. I think so. Basically, what happened in fast CWCs is he'd do very, very well and get to the candidates, and then all you need is luft against the very, very top players. So it's quite often all you need is luft was the highest rated player on Lichess in Crazyhouse. But when it came to the candidates, he really struggled against the real, the Jan Lees of the world. And the Opper Wazen obviously. So Opper Wazen obviously wasn't on Fix. He's one of the also must be new compared to you guys. Yes, and Chronotog is also on Lichess, and plays Crazyhouse sometimes as well. But of course, he prefers Atomic. And he's got a very nice website, with interviews with G. Rogers and other things. So yeah, I mean, what I know about Fix, quite a lot of it is stuff like from Chronotog's blog. Also just random chat from people. Yeah, so this king, what is the idea of king f8? Get yourself out of the pin, so you're potentially attacking this pawn. Get your king off dark. Yeah, I don't know. So then this move is just saying we want to attack the dark squares. You know, if your king's on a dark square, great, I'm going to attack those dark squares. So just chasing the king away. Okay, obviously the queen's still defending this pawn for now. Knight here, here. You don't want... Yeah, probably doesn't want this, because if queen takes queen, knight takes queen, queen here, checkmate. That wouldn't be so ideal. And now it's white to move. And Katas, again, he's a new player, not on Fix. Well, yeah, I think people say he's not on Fix. If he is on Fix, then he's. I don't know. This is very uncomfortable for black, but I'm tempted just to push again. I don't really want this. Okay, he takes. Oh, of course, the rook's protected. Okay, so it's okay. So this isn't so uncomfortable at all if the rook is protected, because now he's got an open file to work with. Maybe even just rook here, just get some tempos on that queen, take this pawn, maybe. So suddenly this is looking quite good. If the queen goes back, maybe if you can get a pawn and put it on b2, suddenly things are looking... Legion Destroyer says e5 is a free pawn. I don't know, that seems brave, because he goes for that. Interesting. So e5. Oh, well then it's a free bishop. Okay, oops. So the idea is e5, bishop takes queen, knight takes queen. And that's very kind of... Yeah, going all in. You reckon your attack is faster. Because your opponent's winning your queen first. You have to be quite careful with that. Yeah, Katask is one of the top players, and he wasn't on Fix, is what I was trying to say. At least we don't think so. But Dragon Slayer, I'm not sure. Okay, so knight f6 if you go to a light square. So like king h7, knight f6 would be checkmate. This is the danger of this position. And if you go here, which seems logical, then white just needs a pawn. Ouch. He doesn't have a pawn. Could he not? He couldn't have taken a pawn. Okay. He takes a rook, and that's not a threat. It's not good enough. The queen's covering. I don't see it. I can't see any... Yeah, I can't see a threat. And now bishop takes knight will mate, right? Bishop takes knight, and knight here was checkmate. So he had to take the king. And now you've got a knight in hand. And so if you step back, knight here is mate. So you have to... he flags. So there's probably a mate in this position. So what's the mate in this position? So if you just time out. So at b4, okay, so at b4, if you just do something like this, here, and knight here would be, if you'd taken this pawn, knight here would be mate, so if you just do this, I mean this is, where's the mate? So something like, not that, something like knight here check, king here, and pawn here checkmate. Okay, so it's a very easy mate to finish. And so with that, Jasugi takes a 4-1 lead, and I'll just play this. This is the first time the wolf has played the wolf defense, so I think I should play through the moves more slowly. So let's do that again. He goes for e6, then d6, then knight f6, then knight c6, then the bishop, and then e5. Okay, so that's the wolf is the is the one after whom we've named the wolf defense, because he used to play it exclusively as black. and really studied the opening quite deeply once upon a time. And Gambit says, why not take the last free pawn instead of timing out? Because it was mate? Yeah, there was a mate. There was a very easy mate to find. And people are talking about Venomous and Ebenfeld, I think. And I think I remember Venomous because at some point he started sending comments on my YouTube videos criticizing the quality criticizing the quality of my streams. Yes, Bughouse Master is indeed Trumpet X. And Zazen Mohax is saying, remember Gus McLean, very fast bug player. Who else? Oh, by the way, Cross Online is also here, but he's a 2100. But so he said he used to be higher rated back in the day on Fix. And Mohax says the same. Yeah. Okay, what do we think about this position? Again, I mean, as long as black doesn't queen and doesn't get a heavy, white's fairly safe, and so has some time to really work this position. So I'm just gonna actually replay. How did white unpick the defense? So he won a pawn, fair enough. He had a very strong center. Black sacrifices. It's almost like desperation, and white's just got He's got all this material in hand, so it's counter-attacking. Okay, so as long as this pawn doesn't promote ever, you should be okay. And he gets the castle's queenside, which is very stylish. And now what? So this is nice. Was casting necessary? Was there something faster? Like, what about rook takes pawn? No, it doesn't quite work, does it? Because you can just block. Obviously, if you can't take with the knight because it comes in. Rook takes pawn just blocks here, though. And then you're looking a bit silly, because then you're losing the rook. And you don't want to lose a heavy. So that's why he does this first. Knight here is nice, because it covers g7, and it hits this, and it hits this. So, okay. So, takes. I mean, those knights, yeah, they're not actually covering as well as you might think, because there's a pin. But if you don't take, you get rook at h8 picking up the queen. So knight h5 is coming. Maybe. Or well, actually, rook takes knight is also tempting. Because if you took back, knight at f4 keeps the king in a box, and you just drive him out. Rook here, king here, and that's surely mate. Queen here would be mate. So rook takes knight, yes, we see it. And oh, this is nice. This is very pretty. He's willing to give up a queen, so he's calculated all this. Yeah, black doesn't have a knight for any queen takes g2 sack. Well, bishop takes queen surely forced here, because otherwise knight f4 will be coming. So you want if you can take a queen with check, you do that without thinking. And now what? Because knight f4. What's I still don't see the. So if you go here, pawn here, and rook h8 is mate, so you'd have to go here. But then again, I'm not. And this bishop, meanwhile, is cutting off the king. So yeah, this is looking very close to mate. Knight f4 is very close to mate. So what's the finish? And then how do you defend against it? That's the problem. I don't see it. It's quite strange. I mean, Rook takes bishop? Yep. Because knight, you have to take with this pawn, because his knight here is trouble. And now... Oh, thanks, Mohax. You're tempted to sack, but do you have enough to... Do you have enough? With 2 bishops, 2 knights. Ooh. Strange move, but surely... I don't understand the moves. He wants to keep the rook in hand, so why does he want the rook? Oh, he wants bishop... Oh, okay, I see what he wants. I see what he wants. I see it. He wants bishop h6, king takes. No, that doesn't work. I really don't get what he wants. Knight takes f7? Is it bishop h6, king takes, knight takes f7? Yeah, so knight g5 I feel was a weird move. Maybe there was some deeper reason behind it, but I'm sure there was something sharper. Low on time. He has to. He doesn't have knights. He could. I mean, White can even just grab this, and the king is safe. Okay, he grabs the pawn equally. Yeah, there are no knights en prise. There's no danger of black taking a knight, so you can just take everything. There's no danger. Okay, but we can also go for this. We'll see what his plan was all along. So it's h6, knight takes f7, bishop h6. I'm guessing. Yes, king takes knight, rook g7. You can't run away. So rook g7, king here, and then knight here, knight here, checkmate. Okay, so that was the mating plan, as it were, that 12 had all along. But I don't know if so. That was the point behind knight at g5, as it were. But I'm wondering if there was a better. So knight at g5. Just turn the engine on for a moment here. Yeah, black is actually winning after knight at g5, and pawn at d2 is a brilliant move, which with this exact idea. I thought you could just slide across, and you can't slide across because black's got the heavies to clear away your back rank. So knight g5 wasn't accurate, and I think white should be doing okay here. But no, apparently it's not so easy. But bishop at d4 apparently is a good idea. Try and take that knight. So that was, yeah, black was winning that position. But Jasugi managed to find the win. And the lone wolf whispers to the chat. And for those who wonder, you can whisper to the chat as a player. You can't read the chat by typing \W and then typing the message. So for those, when people see that for the first time, they find it very strange. Like, what is he reading in the chat? But it's a function so that players can talk to the spectators, but not vice versa. Spectators cannot talk to the players. Yeah, so I play something... No, I don't play something similar to this. So it looks like a fork, but the bishop can just take here. And then do you want to take with the queen or the pawn? The fact he takes the pawn, I think he's still got an eye on maybe this pawn. He's thinking of developing the bishop to a6. And we saw in previous games the 12-team maneuver with pawn at e2 at some point. So if this knight ever moves, taking this knight and pawn at e2 is definitely something on his mind. Because this bishop going here, he's just hung this pawn. That's just going to be chopped off. Unless he's worried about some tempo moves against his queen. It is a free pawn. The Crazyhouse analysis of Lee test seems off. I don't know. I think it's pretty good, but it's a bit off on black. So it says something like it's basically +5 in all these e4 e5 openings. Anti-chess troll, did black miss many mates last game? I don't think so. Don't think so. I think it was just an advantage. I don't. It was a tough position for both. Ooh, stuff has just kicked off here. Stuff has kicked off. So he got a pawn, but white got tempo, got a lot of development, and even got a potential queen trade. And that looks uncomfortable because no, it's okay. C8, F8 rather, is still covered. So it's uncomfortable, but you have to take it, surely. Okay, white might castle, just blocks. You want to keep this diagonal open, obviously. You don't want a queen landing on c8. Yeah, white has to be better because, I mean, okay, I'm really, I mean, yeah, white has to be better just because of a more open king, but so materially it was fairly level. So it's just a positionally better because things are more unstable. So you look at white, what would say the three white knights, they're all defended. The bishop is not defended. White had the pieces in hand as well, whereas black had to. I don't know. I can't understand. Yeah, there must have been some tactical reason why he didn't take the bishop. Even here, I think takes the bishop, queen takes queen, pawn takes queen. What's the problem? Ah, he does it. Okay. Oh, so Marlon says there was a mate in 3 that black missed last game. Wow. I'm just going to ask what move so I can show it to you guys. And in the meantime, we saw some drama because was it like a mouse slipped castle or something from the lone wolf, and so take back. He wanted to go rook d1. I think maybe he accidentally castled or something. I didn't quite see what we played the rook to a different square. I'm not sure what exactly happened. My eye was off the ball. Okay, so rook d1. So what's the threat? Queen takes queen. Pawn takes. I'm just struggling to see what white is threatening. And if you're not threatening something, then black is fixing. And you can see from the time that there's something that he sees that needs fixing. So I can't. The reason I can't see it is because I'm like, well, the knight's pinned, so there's no worry there. We've got plenty of pieces in hand to block off stuff. Ooh, exactly. And this blocks off. This allows queen at c8, a queen at f8 rather. Okay, so he has to block the queen. Rook at c1, king takes c1. Move 33. Huh, okay. Okay, this is allowing white to develop, or is it? Because now this square is not defended, so pawn here, king here. Oh, I am actually a bit worried, but I still don't see it. So what I'm worried about is something like knight here takes, knight here, checkmate. This sort of, no, but the bishop covers. This is really uncomfortable for black, but I'm still not seeing it. Queen takes queen, rook takes knight here. Oh, king takes pawn. Why can't I There must be something here. Check's very dangerous, but could be mate. Oh, there must be mate here. This is checkmate. So he has to step out, and then you promote even. 3 seconds. Whoa, I'm not... Okay, this is going too fast for me. So he grabs here, grabs... Sorry, he's winning the queen with check. Okay, that's what's going on. I was not following at all. Knight here, okay. He's only got a queen in hand. I don't see it. Nice move, defending the knight. Very nice move. And this is a huge time scramble. It's very exciting. Okay, so queen here, king here, queen here, checkmate. Yes. It's all over. Well played, Wolf. 5-2. The game goes on, and while they just start up the next game, I'm going to quickly show you the missed mate. In this one. So in this position, yeah, I just thought, okay, I didn't realize stuff was dangerous. I just thought you could even just take here, and I'm obviously completely wrong. Yeah, and this is completely losing. I didn't realize how dangerous this is for black. And so what actually happened in this game, with queen here, pawn here, is there was rook at c1. That's just a very simple mate. Just deflecting the king, and you're in. My goodness. So pawn at b, that's just amazing. So you have to defend with the knight to cover that. That's really incredible. So black had a mate in 3 in the previous game, and he takes this this last game, the 7th game out of 10. So it's 2 games to 5. And yeah, let's play the wolf defense, game 8 from the beginning. So knight f6. Oh, he did it different order this time. He went knight f6 first, but it's the same setup. 2 knights here, pawns here, and bishop on e7. Let's just check the chat. It was the previous game, yeah, but which the lone wolf took as white, indeed. No, I think it's very nice when the players can talk to spectators. So people are dissing in chat. So it's a very nice feature on Lichess. It's great when people take advantage of it. It's hard in 3+2. So actually, the reason the place where it's used most is in the 45 league. So players get 45 minutes and 45 seconds extra for each of their moves, and it's a league played on Lichess, which has been going for many seasons, and in that you have the time to chat, unless things are getting stressful, and it's a nice feature where you can talk to your teammates and your opponents and tell them your thinking process. It doesn't affect you in any way, and just makes it more enjoyable for the spectators. So it's turned into a kind of delayed French, hasn't it? So normally we saw in some of the other games, black went for this. So why didn't he here? Because not sure, but instead we got the same kind of setup, but in a different. Well, okay. So white wants a pawn for h6. That's basically the deal. And the black knight's looking a little bit silly over here. This, yeah, it's not so good. Yeah, what's he just done? He just gave white the pawn he needed for h6. Really, really. He should have brought his knight back into the game and pressure the base of the pawn chain. So what if the pawn was making headway this way? It wasn't important. And now, I don't know, it just looks too comfortable. It looks too comfortable for white. It's a very sort of, you just try and put diagonals on g5, on g7. He's just going to take it, put a pawn on g5. Okay. So yeah, the knight steps back. He wins. Okay. 2 pawns for the knight. Okay, what are we going to do with the knight? Take the bishop, put the bishop on. Okay, so this is all very standard stuff. A little bit shortage of material, but the bishop is coming in. If you go this way, so you have to step back, so the queen is going to a stupid place. Yeah, this is looking quite unpleasant. Bishop takes h3. It's basically the only thing you can do is just try and create some kind of counterplay while also defending your rook. Yeah, good luck defending that pawn. I can't see any way of defending that pawn. So knight here gets taken, knight here gets taken, knight here gets taken, knight here gets taken here. Rook g8 maybe? Yeah, takes. Okay, but this is just going to be all over. Takes, queen here, and then I put queen at f6. Queen at f6 will finish the job, won't it? Or will it? Let's see. If you block queen f6 here, I take a... Oh, the knight. Yeah, knight's clever because it covers h8. Because I was thinking of rook h8 ideas. So I have to give it to him. Knight is clever. But there's something else. There's something else. Like queen takes knight, and then knight here. So it still doesn't work. Knight here, queen takes rook. Yeah, beautiful mate to finish and to guarantee the win. 6 games to 2. Yeah, very entertaining games. So we saw 2 wins from the Lone Wolf, and the third one we had a mate in 3. So that's exciting. Yeah, it was a good performance from Wolf. Good performance. Maybe I'd say the only disappointment from Wolf's perspective would be not winning. The first game looked the closest to being something which he might have prepped, and there must have been some concrete. I mean, the position looked, maybe it wasn't bad, but it did look incredibly. So already this was a mistake, this pawn here. Simple moves are best. So knight g5. So if you just step back, 2 pawns here. Yeah, when I was commentating live, I just didn't actually notice there was a second pawn, so that was quite bad. So it's just checkmate if you step back. So you have to step forwards. And the problem is king takes bishop might be coming, so you want to meet king takes bishop with knight f7 taking this. So it's not so clear, but I assumed this was prep and he knew what he was doing. So knight pawn at e6. It's very uncomfortable. Pawn at e3 would be the counter. Nothing in the opening book, so I'll put that away. Just castles. It's just very uncomfortable to play. I can't see anything concrete, but it's just very uncomfortable. So apparently bishop at g4. Apparently we're not doing too badly. Okay, knight f7 comes at some point. So if we were to just grab the queen, then grabs the queen here, but your king is less safe. So an exchange of queens doesn't suit you. And then it thinks, oh, maybe it's okay. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Maybe it's not so clear because e takes f2. rook takes f2, queen at e1, so it's got some ideas, but queen at e1, queen at f1. Okay, so yeah, the black king is less safe. So you don't really want to trade the queens. So as black, what would you do here if you don't trade queens? So it just takes. If you don't trade queens, is there any other option? There really isn't. There really isn't. If you just move the queen, you just knight takes rook, even queen takes bishop. Apparently is a move. Queen takes bishop, knight takes queen. So it's just very hard to play, and this is already checkmating. Bishop at f5. Okay, but we can just. Oh, we can't grab the bishop. Okay. Bishop takes g4, queen takes g4, just to do some random stuff. Rook at f5. Okay, so it's just very uncomfortable. Actually, it's not so simple. This is really not so simple. You have to find rook f5. And at this point, my mind is kind of like, what is going on here? If we step up the board, we're getting mated. So clearly, we need to defend. Okay, suppose you just defend with the pawn. I'm kind of doing overkill on just this game, I know, but it's just trying to get a feel for why king g6, pawn h5, the kind of ideas that he should have found in the first game that he didn't. Queen takes h5, rook f6, rook f6, what? So your idea is you're just clearing out the rook because you want the pawn here, that's the idea. So you have to take with the king, but then you get the queen with check. Okay, once you got the queen with check, I can believe this is going to be easy. I was thinking at f5, but apparently knight f4 is even more efficient. In the meantime, so these two knights block off those two squares, so this is the only square, and now we have checkmate. Yes, yes, yes. So queen here, for example, is checkmate. Okay, okay. So that would have been the plan. So play it much simpler, and to get your knight in on f7 and try and do a queen trade. That would have been a much simpler plan from white, and I thought it was prep. So I thought he'd have found it. You know, knight at g5, pawn at e6, and so I guess that's a good pattern to recognise. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks especially to Mohax and Humorous, and hi there, David Carlton as well. Thanks for also watching a lot of my videos. No, just talking about chess today, and talking about fix as well. That's all. And thanks again, yeah, Mohax. See you next time. Although I'm fairly busy, so I don't know when next time will be. But this is definitely a match I really wanted to cover. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. Bye.